Stop right there. Before you say I do, before you file those divorce papers, before you make any major decisions about your marriage, you need to hear this. Did you know that the moment you get married, you're signing one of the most binding legal contracts of your entire life? And when that contract breaks, you could lose half of everything you own, fight for years to see your own children, and spend tens of thousands of dollars just to walk away.
Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could save your financial future and protect your family.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling one of the most important yet misunderstood topics in American life, the legal reality of marriage and divorce. Whether you're engaged, happily married, going through a rough patch, or contemplating separation, this video is for you. We're going to cut through the romance and the myths to give you the raw truth about what happens legally when you get married and what happens when that marriage ends.
I'll break down property rights, custody laws, financial obligations, and the legal landmines that catch millions of Americans off guard every year. This isn't about being cynical. This is about being smart. Let's dive in.
Let's start with what actually happens legally when you get married. That marriage license you sign activates a complex web of legal rights and obligations. The instant you're legally married, you and your spouse become a single economic unit in the eyes of the law. You gain automatic rights that unmarried couples simply don't have. You become each other's legal next of kin, which means if your spouse ends up in the hospital unconscious, you're making life or death medical decisions. You can inherit from each other even without a will. You gain rights to your spouse's Social Security benefits, pension plans, and veterans benefits. You can share health insurance policies and get favorable tax treatment through joint filing status. These are powerful legal protections.
But here's what they don't tell you at the wedding. With those rights come obligations that can haunt you if things go wrong. Your credit becomes intertwined, your debt becomes shared, your property rights become complicated, and extracting yourself from this legal partnership can be devastating.
Let's talk about property, because this is where most people get blindsided. The United States doesn't have one unified system for marital property. We have two competing frameworks, and which one applies depends on what state you live in.
41 states use common law property or equitable distribution systems. In these states, property belongs to whoever earned it or whose name is on the title during marriage. But when you divorce, the court doesn't just let each person walk away with what's in their name. Instead, judges divide property equitably, meaning fairly, not necessarily equally. They look at how long you were married, how much each spouse contributed financially and non-financially, each person's earning capacity, who sacrificed career opportunities, who took care of the kids, and what each person needs to maintain their standard of living. This means even in common law states, the spouse who earned less or stayed home with kids can walk away with significantly more than half the assets. Then we have 9 community property states: Arizona, California, Idaho, Louisiana, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, Washington, and Wisconsin. In these states, almost everything acquired during marriage belongs equally to both spouses, period. It doesn't matter whose name is on the paycheck or the car title. If you earned it or bought it while married, it's 50-50 community property. When you divorce, everything gets split right down the middle, with few exceptions. The exceptions matter, though. Property you owned before marriage remains separate property. Inheritances you receive stay yours alone. Gifts given specifically to you remain your separate property. But here's the catastrophic mistake people make. If you mix separate property with marital property, you accidentally convert it into shared assets. Put your inheritance into a joint checking account? That money just became community property.
Use your pre-marriage savings as a down payment on a house you buy together? That house is now marital property, and you might not get that down payment back.
Debt is the silent killer in divorce. Just like assets, debts incurred during marriage are generally considered marital obligations. If your spouse maxed out credit cards you didn't know existed, you could be on the hook for half or more of that debt. If they took out business loans that failed, you're liable. Medical debts, car loans, mortgages, all of it gets divided in divorce. This is why financial transparency isn't just good practice, it's legal protection. Now let's confront the elephant in the room, divorce itself. Between 40 and 50% of first marriages end in divorce. The financial cost is staggering. An uncontested divorce where both parties agree might cost $3,000 to $5,000. A contested divorce where you fight over property or custody, you're looking at $15,000 to $30,000 on average. High-conflict divorces that go to trial routinely exceed $50,000 to $100,000 per spouse. The divorce process starts when one spouse files a petition with the court. Every state now allows no-fault divorce, meaning you don't have to prove your spouse did anything wrong. You can simply state irreconcilable differences. However, many states still allow fault-based grounds like adultery, cruelty, abandonment, or substance abuse. Why does fault matter? Because in some states, proving fault can affect how property gets divided and whether alimony gets awarded. Most states impose waiting periods before divorce can be finalized, ranging from 30 days to 6 months or even a year. During this time, you're still legally married and bound by all those legal obligations we discussed. Alimony is money one spouse pays to the other after divorce to help maintain their standard of living. Many people think alimony is automatic or that only men pay women. Both assumptions are wrong. Courts award alimony based on need and ability to pay, regardless of gender. Judges consider how long you were married. Short marriages under 5 years rarely result in long-term alimony. Marriages over 20 years often result in longer support obligations or even permanent alimony. Did one spouse sacrifice their career to support the other or raise children? That spouse will likely receive alimony. There are different types: temporary alimony during proceedings, rehabilitative alimony for a set period to allow retraining, and permanent alimony that continues indefinitely. The amount often ranges from 20 to 40% of the difference between spouses' incomes. Now the most emotionally charged part, child custody. When parents with minor children divorce, the court must decide legal custody, which is the right to make major decisions about your child's education, health care, and upbringing, and physical custody, which determines where the child lives. Every state uses the best interest of the child standard. Courts examine each parent's ability to provide a stable, safe home. They consider the emotional bond between each parent and child. They evaluate each parent's physical and mental health. They examine whether there's any history of domestic violence or substance abuse. They look at which parent has been the primary caregiver. And if the child is mature enough, usually around age 12, courts consider the child's own preferences. Here's critical. Courts today do not automatically favor mothers over fathers. That's an outdated stereotype. Modern family courts recognize children benefit from strong relationships with both parents. Fathers who actively seek custody and demonstrate involvement have excellent chances of obtaining joint or primary custody. Joint custody has become the preferred arrangement in most states. This usually means joint legal custody, where both parents share decision-making, even if one parent has the child more of the time physically. Physical custody arrangements vary enormously, from true 50-50 splits to primary custody with one parent having weekdays and the other having weekends. Child support is calculated using state formulas based on both parents' incomes, number of children, and custody arrangement. The parent with less parenting time usually pays support to the other. Child support covers basic necessities: food, shelter, clothing, and routine medical care. It's legally enforceable through wage garnishment, and parents who don't pay face serious consequences, including license suspension and even jail time. Custody and support orders aren't permanent. Either parent can petition for modifications if circumstances substantially change. Job loss, major promotion, relocation needs, or safety concerns can all trigger modifications.
And there you have it, the unvarnished truth about marriage and divorce in the United States. This isn't about discouraging marriage or making divorce sound terrifying. This is about going into the most important legal contract of your life with your eyes wide open. Marriage brings incredible benefits and legal protections, but it's also a serious legal commitment with profound financial and custodial implications.
If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into legal and social issues that affect your everyday life. Drop a comment below. Did anything surprise you? Have you been through divorce? What was the most challenging part? Your experiences help other viewers navigate these situations. Remember, while this video provides general educational information, every situation is unique and laws vary by state. If you're dealing with these issues personally, consult with a qualified family law attorney who can provide advice specific to your circumstances. Don't navigate divorce alone. The decisions you make now will affect you for years to come.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay informed, stay protected, and take care of yourself and your loved ones.